You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different? Man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro. Don't waste your time no more. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? I don't give a damn if you say you disapprove. I'm gonna make my move, I'm gonna make it soon. And I'll do it cause it's what I wanna fucking do. Cause all these opinions and all these positions, they come in millions, they blocking your vision. But no, you can't listen, that shit is all fiction. Cause you hold the power as long as you're dreaming.
There's no way that you make it. And maybe you can fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Are you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Are you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back? Fight back. You ain't gonna make it, you ain't never ever gonna break it. You can never beat them and they're better than you face it. Thinking that they give a damn, you're not, think a stray kid. No, they don't give a damn, you got what I'm saying? I'm not fucking playing, I'll give it to you straight, man. There's too many others and you're not that great, man. Stop what you're saying, stop what you're making. Everybody here knows that you just faking. Nah, I don't wanna hear it anymore, I don't wanna hear it anymore. All these fucking thoughts, they are not what I need anymore. I'm about to shut the motherfucking door on all you poor ass haters with your heads in the clouds, talking out loud so proud. You better shut your goddamn mouth before I do more speak out. It's about to head south. Never gonna make it. There's no way that you make it. And maybe you can fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Are you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Are you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back? Fight back.
Watch out if your enemy's a road ahead of full prophecy to be the greatest beast the world has ever seen. I feed him every day like the bones clean. I feed him all the hate and he grows mean. He gets claws real big, pissed off quick, and if you cross him you might drop dead. Metaphorically, of course, settling this war, never getting bored, loves the blood and gore, always wanting more freedom from the source. They don't really understand until they feel the force departed. If you start shit, you'll be heartless in the darkness, torn apart quick. You left scars ripped, you'll be chewed up and discarded.
And this world ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy, I expect it. Once it's in your mind, it's infectious. So fight for your life and reject it. You better give me space, I'm protective. My adrenaline spikes when I'm threatened. And if you stay in my way, I'm aggressive. Cause when there's no exit, I'll kill when I'm desperate.
Pressure, it's stormy weather, lightning, thunder, pouring weather. Yo, I'm a go-getter, try to do it like me, but I do it better. I got a mind that's clever, the beast inside is competitive as ever. I'm conscious, my subconscious, an accomplice to me. I promise the darkness, I can honest believe. But lost me, I might lose control of the lost beast. He's locked away inside with the key control by fight or flight. And this world ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy, I expect it. Once it's in your mind, it's infectious. So fight for your life and reject it. You better give me space, I'm protective. My adrenaline spikes when I'm threatened. And if you stay in my way, I'm aggressive. Cause when there's no exit, I'll kill when I'm desperate.
Alisa Isabete Jarabima Siginya Mumbembude Kema Alisa Isabete Jarabima Alaningira Mumbembude Kema Alisa Isabete Jarabima Kanabili Kam Jamfa Mona Mune Dumbini Sabubiye Kanabili Kam Malo Mashirine Dumbini Sabubiye Kanabili Kam Gosi Mona Mune Dumbini Sabubiye Kanabili Kam Trai Mashirine Dumbini Sabubiye Kanabili Kam Trompe Mon amour ne Dumbini Sabubiye Kanabili Kam Gosi Ma chérie ne Dumbini Sabubiye Kanabili Kam Trai Mon amour ne Dumbini Sabubiye Kanabili Kam Trompe Mon amour ne Dumbini Sabubiye.
Say they want it, but I don't understand. Hammer it all to the same crush, and none of us even really care that much. So close to calling your family ghost in the other's eyes. Tell me it's not the end of everything. Tell me it's not the end. It's not the end of everything. Tell me it's not the end.
Skanikola Te watu tano yetie ya Nelona to hitsu Ke yetinu elatu Ne akweku skana skana akaha Ne kalu yagelonu Ayo wea Wehana yo wea heyo hayo hayo wea Hana yo wea he Hayo hayo wea Hana yo hayo wea yo wea Wehana yo Let's put our minds together as one and remember the ones who've passed on to the sky. Their life duties are complete. They are living peacefully in the skyward. In the skyward, ayo wea, wehana yo wea heyo hayo hayo wea, hana yo wea he, hayo hayo wea, hana yo hayo.
tightly bound in together. Sporty lang summer day on the braes of Balquidder. I will twine thee a bower by the clear and silver fountain, and I'll cover it over with the flowers of the mountain. Let us go, lassie, go to the braids of Balquidder, where the blueberries grow and the bonny Highland heather. I will range through the wilds and the deep glens say dreary, and return with their spoils to the bower of my dearie, when the rude wintry wind idly raves around our dwelling, and the roar of the linn on the night breeze is swelling. So merrily we'll sing as the storm rattles o'er us, till the dear shilling ring with the light lilting chorus. Let us go, lassie, go to the braes of Balquidder, where the blueberries grow, made by me Highland heather. Now this summer is in prime, with the flowers richly blooming, and the wild mountain thyme and the moorlands are perfuming. To our dear native saints, let us journey together, where glad innocence reigns, mind the praise of Balquidder. Let us go, lassie, go to the graves of Balquidder, where the blueberries grow, mang the bonny Highland heather. Let us go, lassie, go to
coming in. Whew, it's warm. Okay, where do I press the thing? There's the thing. Hey-oh. I'm looking a freaking mess. Okay, oh, that's all better. Perfect. Hey, dudes. So, hey. I don't really know what's gonna happen in this episode. But we're gonna talk about stuff. It's so... So, let's see what I can find in downloads. I guess I'll start a new folder. I don't know what the hell. What? I see a comment. I don't even know what that says. Stream Hub World. And I don't know what the symbol is. It's like a firework or something. I'm pretty sure not there. But if they're, hey, what's up? Pardon me. Crystal model for Zealandia and Fiji. I think I was trying to find Ellis Basin and North, like stuff up here. So I've been talking to, may I get your permission, William Sager, who has kindly given me his permission, I guess, to, with text he didn't say, so I would interpret that to mean either way. But so I mentioned this in my last episode, that I had reached out to someone. Even though if anyone follows my work, I probably would have given away who the person was. Because ever since coming across his work, as I mentioned in this, maybe I can go Tamu Massey, yeah, this one. In this video, which I talk about in this video, or no, yeah, Shatsky Rise 368, and then like subsequent episodes are me looking at, like, if we go to 369, it possibly shows up here. I guess not. Somewhere, maybe this one then. Oh yeah, this one. I start going through his Google Scholar. One of these, I start going through his Google Scholar. Maybe even as far back. No, it's got to be that one, because that's when I came across his work. But why I came across his work goes back really, like, especially to 360. Something about 360 on. besides 362, where I have, what the hell is this, A/B testing? Where I have really loud music. But so I'll just read this, I guess. I said, Dr. Sager, hi, you do not know me, but I first came across your work with the Tamu Massif YouTube video, and I've read several of your papers on the Pacific. In fact, I learned much about the Pacific by going through your Google Scholar page and opening everything that caught my eye. So I'm a bit of a fan of your work. I have taken an interest. So this is all the things I've been kind of focused on lately, is the Emperor Trough. Taken an interest in the Emperor Trough, and specifically I found the paper by Farrar and Dixon, Early Tertiary Rupture of the Pacific Plate. So I talked about this in the last episode. To be of great interest, 1,700 kilometers of dextral offset along the Emperor Trough Islands lineament, which is probably in here. Along here is where they propose it to be. It looks kind of like a trident. I see so many reasons to see merit in this to some degree. So this is their reconstruction. But the point is, there's a subsequent paper by Gordon, I guess, this. Paleomagnetic test of the Emperor fracture zone hypothesis, which I had come across because I was like, has anyone talked about this paper? Like, what the hell is going on with this paper? Why is this not, like, discussed more broadly? And I came across this paper, so I'm like, okay, maybe it was just, like, in the scientific literature, proposed and dismissed, and that's, like, the end of it. And I'm like, that's kind of, like, I was thinking about it, I'm like, well, this is a group of people proposing something that they thought about, and then someone denying it, and then just, like, it's done. I'm like, I don't know if it's done. Like, if there's, like, a conversation, or let's say a debate, like, if someone talks first and another person talks, and then the first person, I guess they could have continued to talk. So it's kind of like a patent, in like an abandoned patent application where I used to work at the patent office, where someone would apply for a patent and I would reject it as a patent examiner if it was rejectable. And sometimes they would not respond, and that would basically be them abandoning the patent, where they'd get a notice of abandonment. And basically, if they're not responsive, they basically are agreeing that the patent is not, where the application is not patent worthy, in that it's not novel over prior art. In this case, it's not scientific doctrine worthy, in that it is not truth, is kind of what's happening. Like, this didn't happen. Like, this is proposing and interestingly, it's not in like here it says we postulate. But if you look at the language, it's not all that postulated in the way they speak. This system, between this time A northwest southeast trending fracture system over 8,000 kilometers long split the Pacific and accumulated. So it's a statement that's it's kind of indicative that the author is quite satisfied with this interpretation as something that just is, even though they say postulate because it's like a scientific literature situation. They are more like absolute in the abstract, which I find curious. Like they could say, we propose, or something like that. A hypothesized, or something of this nature that just kind of points out that it's less of a conclusion and more of a supposition, say. This system named the Emperor Fracture Zone. So anyway, the point is, I'm like, I just don't know that this paper fully dismisses it. So, so I vaguely mention it. I notice the topic seems relatively undiscussed since this paper was rebutted. I'm kind of out of it. Sorry, guys. I'm like, gotta just like calm down. But recently, and stop like judging myself, I guess. It's really obnoxious. It's super distracting, I guess. But recently, saw you were co-author of the, like, I'm judging that I'm doing this and judging that I'm maybe not doing it well, kind of mumbling, anyway. But recently saw you were a co-author of this paper. As I'm familiar with your work, though you're not the lead author, I still thought you were the right person to ask this question that has been bugging me since I saw your paper, basically, since seeing this, because I was aware of this a couple years ago, and then this paper came out in 2025. Suggestive that there is some form of dextral slip, although it's described as 300 kilometers in the paper, at least, I believe it, even, or approximately, I'm not sure, but I was like, that's curious, and I kept thinking about it. I'm like, does this, like, I vaguely remember this other paper exists that just kind of said no. Like, they say, nah, son. Conclusions. Because paleomagnetic data from each of 3 late Cretaceous time intervals disagree with the Emperor Fracture Zone model at a high level of confidence, but are consistent with no motion having occurred along the Emperor Fracture Zone, I conclude that the Emperor Fracture Zone hypothesis proposed by Farrar and Dixon is incorrect, and that no motion is likely to have occurred along this hypothetical plate boundary. But this paper, which is probably somewhere in here, somewhere. I'm not sure what it would be titled. I'll just look it up. Downloaded 100 times. There it is. Oh, it was by the author name. I just don't know where it was. But this paper says, our knowledge of the Cretaceous history of the northwestern Pacific Plate relies on tectonic reconstructions that lack geochronologic and geochemical constraints due to the paucity of sampling in this area. Paucity. I know what it means by the context, but Interesting. We present new age and compositional data for samples from 4 emperor seamounts, tholiids from Tenji, 66 million, and Swazi, 70, yield ages consistent with the expected age progression, whereas a trachytic sample from Hanzi, 66, both KT boundary, expected age of 73, represents an alkalic post-shield event. The ridge-like morphology and depleted geochemistry of Maji to Swazi seamounts in the age 78 to 75 and depleted composition of volcanic elongated ridges, VERs, southeast of Detroit seamount, 76 million. I believe this is the first one. I can't remember. Might be the second one. Are consistent with plume ridge interaction. The VERs account for the missing volume of volcanism expected from plume ridge interaction for the oldest emperor seamounts. A small seamount with mid-ocean ridge basalt-like geochemistry located east of the northern Detroit seamount yielded an age of 100 million. Interestingly, in the time of Kamchatka stuff, representing a minimum age for the oceanic crustal sliver between the Emperor Trough and the Stalemate Fracture Zone, which is up here. And then I guess the sample is from here. Small seamount with mid-ocean ridge-like basalt-like geochemistry east of Detroit. Oh yeah, Maiji is the first one. East of Detroit, but interestingly, along that like line of this structure, maybe it's this one. One of these, I guess. So crazy. We propose approximately 300 kilometers of dextral offset along the Emperor Trough to explain the location of this older crustal sliver. Our new data provide important constraints on the poorly known early evolution of the Hawaiian Emperor seamount chain in the Cretaceous Quiet Zone, 120 to 83 million, I believe. Geotectonic history of the northwestern Pacific Plate. So they basically say there is movement. There is dextral slip, specifically along the Emperor Trough, 65 million, 60. So in this time frame of post 60 million, but not yet 65. And basically in Farrar and Dixon kind of territory between 67 and 40. Well, you may say, well, 67 would suggest it's not like in agreement with this, because 65 has nothing's happened, so 67 is too early. But the paper is like they don't choose it estimate. I forget exactly where 67 is coming from, but it's just like we postulate through the Pacific Plate, largely within the Cretaceous magnetic quiet zone in the early Tertiary. I'm not sure. So I think it's related to the Cretaceous magnetic quiet zone, early tertiary. As like the brackets of the 67 to 40, so it's just not that like specific. Oh, I have this open like several times. Okay. But this one does sound quite like this. And it's like, well, if there's no motion, the poles make sense. If there's motion, the poles are out of whack in terms of paleomagnetism. And over here as well. So like something that is 80 million years old should have been in motion at 67 to 40 million, but when we look on the west and east sides of the Emperor Trough, or Emperor Fracture Zone specifically, we see that no motion makes sense versus motion that doesn't make sense. And it's basically, it looks quite conclusive. I did notice the standard errors are quite high. I don't know. That seems odd to me. This one, 10.9. I actually said 10.2 in the email, but 10.9. The citation of the paper, so I'm looked at the paper like this. I literally was like, do they cite Farrar and Dixon? No. So no Farrar and Dixon. So I'm like, okay. Maybe it even more so supports Farrar and Dixon because it doesn't even mention Farrar and Dixon, but at least aligns with it in that it supports something happened. Because this essentially that's what's happening, is this one saying some shit happened that we should figure out what exactly it was. Maybe it's not exactly this, but something happened that by having this in mind, we investigate it closer. This one's saying there's nothing to investigate. And then this one is saying, well, something happened here without any reference to this earlier exchange. Because this is 1981, 1982. So it's basically a door opened and a door shut in a year. A year and a half, almost 2 years, I guess. Wasn't open very long. Didn't become in any way like investigated thoroughly, I'd say. It doesn't seem. And of note, there is a Dixon paper, I don't know if I can find it, that basically agrees with Gordon that there was not dextral slip, but again, something's up. I don't know what exactly happened. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Maybe so it's like, well, maybe it's not the Emperor Fracture Zone. Like I really, when I look at this, I say this was over here, where Hess Rise was like over here, and basically at Orofino at its maybe pushed up to though, where it was even down here. It was over here, but I think I'm basing it on the wrong side. I need to base it on that the Emperor Trough actually, where it ends, which is unclear. I'm not sure if there's been any investigation into how far it is over here through like seismic data or something. I haven't looked either. But it, in appearance, it clearly is here. It looks like it's here. It also looks like it bends a little. Interesting. Maybe it goes over here entirely. Pointing more at that. But so the Emperor Trough, though, my interpretation, was active with some amount of dextral slip, while the Tintina Fault was active with dextral slip, where the Tintina Fault was literally the Emperor Trough. Like, they were the same. And it's still kind of visible in the way that the Rocky Mountain Trench formed. Having like this Mariana Trench looking structure. Like a note which is super similar. Straight, rounded. Straight, rounded. Straight, rounded. Like it's different roundedness, like maybe there to over here with roundedness to here kind of thing. Whoa. So I said the citations do not mention the Farrar, but seem to possibly provide supportive evidence, the concept at least having some merit, as the Madrigal et al. Paper clearly establishes, because he's like, I'm not sure about the clearly. To me, I say clearly, because this is a time when it's not as clear. And then we look at the evidence of like this kind of paper. It just looks more thorough and precise, and like it's the product of 4 decades of progress in terms of all sorts of ways. Where I'm like, okay, this, like they're not getting through dextral slip as easily as maybe Farrar and Dixon did, without much more analysis. It seems, I mean, I'm not very good at this kind of thing, and I definitely did not read this paper in its totality, and should. I just look at so many papers, it's hard to like literally read any of them in their totality unless I like go through and underline it all for a video. But the new paper is very focused on the Emperor Trough and North, so I thought perhaps it was supportive evidence to the potential of more overall. So Dr. Seger said, the origin of the Emperor Trough is unclear. It happened, which is nice to know that it's like to me, like, one of the most experienced and knowledgeable geologists on the Pacific, saying the origin of the Emperor Trough is unclear, is of interest. Like it's good to know that this is kind of a question mark. It happened at a time when the lights were out, no magnetic reversals, the Cretaceous long normal polarity chron. Let's make sure this is the Cretaceous normal supercon, yeah. 121 to 83 here, as per here. I don't know, I think I've definitely seen 120 then. During the Cretaceous period, when the Earth's magnetic field remains locked in a single normal polarity. This one says 126 to 84 from 2021. 120 to 83, there's might be the paper I saw. 121 to 84, so that general time frame, which is not 67 to 40 of note, it's prior to the dextral slip. So I've never really found information on when this was thought to form unrelated to the dextral slip. At least not that I recall like that, so I would have put it more in the time of the proposed dextral slip in my head, like 67, maybe 70, but to be during the Cretaceous normal supercon, like it's forming. I don't know what to make of it exactly, because a lot of the dextral slip that may or may not have happened appears to have been in the 67 to 40 kind of time frame. There were probably 1 or 2 major plate reorganizations. There's definitely, I don't know if I've ever heard of a second one. Unless he's talking about like 55 million plate reorganization. There's one around like 100 million and 55 million that I guess definitely the 105 to 100, that one. Definitely that one is relevant. Oh wow, we investigate tectonic events from the period of 110 to 90 and show that the reorganization occurred between 105 and 100. While Hess Rise was forming, while this thing was forming, this seamount's forming. It then dextral slips later, but during that, it formed at the end of the reorganization, I guess. I really need to like meticulously make a list of all these freaking things. Like it's so hard to remember what happened when. I need like a book of like just like 100. I tried it before and it's such a pain in the ass. Put like pages for each time period and just start writing in it to start to accumulate some kind of list that I can then organize better and think about better. Let's see. Western Idaho shear zone band fractures zone. Several authors have discussed the mid-Cretaceous Australian Indian spreading ridge reorientation that produced 50 degree fracture zone bends in the Wharton Basin. In terms of an Indian Ocean centered plate reorganization. So maybe he's talking about that one. Which I guess is the 100 million. The ridge reorientation was synchronous with a late Albian Cenomanian breakup unconformity along the southern Australian margin. Albian is when Hess-Rise is forming. Late Albian, so 105, I guess. So they're relating this to the Australian margin breakup, I guess. And coeval with conjugate fracture zone bends in the Enderby Basin and Bay of Bengal. Bay of Bengal. What did I say about it? Conjugate. Like they were once part of. Conjugate. Geology. I feel like it means they were once two intersecting sets of faults or fractures. I've only heard the word conjugate with regard to like conjugate Shatsky rise and so on, which is like a piece broken off, Hess rise, etc. Here's a mention of the 50 million one. I'm just like, representing India, Antarctica spreading. Furthermore, Bernard suggested that very broad fracture zone bends showing changes in the direction of spreading between Africa and Antarctica at the southwest Indian ridge of a few degrees formed at about 96 million between Africa and Antarctica. So between India and Antarctica, around 100 million, and then between Africa and Antarctica, around 100 million, and I guess also between Australia and Antarctica, because the late along the southern Australian margin, so Australian Antarctica. So 100. So it's basically Australia or Antarctica segmenting from these other continents, becoming continents, I guess. Around 100 million, but in a sequence that is India and Antarctica and Australia, Antarctica, and then Africa, Antarctica, Warren Basin. I think that's around Australia, maybe. Is I gonna find it? so many thoughts. So many things to look at, that is. Oh my god. Okay. So 50 million and 100 million. Okay. Bends observed throughout the Indian Ocean, fracture zone bends, are contemporaneous with a swerve of the Pacific plate indicated by hotspot trail bends. So I guess Hawaii. I don't know these. Orange purple lines show the orientation of hotspot tracks from 110 to 100 and 100 to 80. Orange 110 to 100. Purple 100 to 80. Orange, purple. Oh my god. Wow. That's super insightful. So let's say Australia is over here with this margin. Here, but then the whole thing is turned so that this, like, I don't know if this actually fits those hotspot tracks fully, but if Western North America is atop the Emperor Trough and extends past it somewhat to about here somewhere, and then when it's like that, where is it? Darn it. Where would it be? No. Did I do this one? No, fuck. Is it in here for some reason? No, I'm trying to find a good freaking Earth. No, I need to just delete this one. I always look at it because it's such a good name and it's freaking nothing. Where is it? Here we go. Here we go. So Australia was connected to North America, so I suppose, through New Guinea, Sulawesi, North Maluku, and Philippines, which were adjacent to them, to those, like this, like this, wrapping around Australia through to Borneo and Indonesia. Where North America, like, Washington, Vancouver. Vancouver was like right here. Washington, California, and then Mexico. And then on the other side, it was like this. Somewhat, this is pretty bad. This, where these meet, are much more like down here. Yeah, this one's a little bit harder because of the spreading of the actual physical continent. It changed shape and size more. But so if that's going on, and there's a current going here where the Emperor Trough is here, then that means all the Pacific is overlain by Australia. This stuff, which doesn't really do justice to where it is exactly. But there's a lot going on in this area, but generally this was the Philippines were actually cradled in the arms of Borneo, as I say, as I describe it. And then this was more like this, where there's actually a current flow even that I show involving different pathways here. I'm not completely sure that this is early on, that these currents are absolute. They seem pretty good still when I look at it. But there's definitely more going on. That is just not in this. It's interesting to think that there's a southern current there. Southward bound, that is. And then North America was generally overlaying the Western Pacific, where the Mid-Pacific Mountains in an Earth expansion model it is supposed that the Mid-Pacific Mountains were forming here a budding resistance. Notice there's not really resistance over at the beginning, though. In this area, it's like void, where the pink is high intensity magnetic anomalies and the blue is low. And current flow, I propose like an undercurrent under the crust that flowed during this process and still flows, just not as Earth expanding-y, but flowing this way and then fanning out here, where then my interpretation is Shatsky Rise was the backstop to this. So there was a Shatsky Rise generally forming over here, and then this whole thing kind of elongated. These things elongated. So I don't know if we've really like taken drill samples along them to see that there's not like an elongation happening in these. Don't know, because they're thought to kind of just go like this and like grow outward like a spreading ridge where they grow on both sides at the same age. This kind of suggests that there's probably an elongation happening where this is moved, or I mean, almost certainly. It seems quite certain, if this is true at least. The map is also not exact. It's again on a smaller radius Earth where this is happening. Crazy thoughts happening in my head. But again, Emperor Trough, it's not captured well here. Was up there, maybe as this underplate was forming of structure that was hardening from the undercurrents and solidifying into more of a structure and not flowing as much. So it just kind of moved as one unit, that type of thing. Maybe it started to move out somewhat along these. Oh my god, it makes me think of Kamchatka. Meanwhile, though, down here is a super important location, which was really at this location in Guayaquil Bay region, which I call the secondary mantle puncture hole, which then had this location atop it, where then a jet stream was going up this way that was causing the fracture zones, the Phoenix fracture zones here, and then up here, which interacted more where they're actually going in over here. But so if it's like that, Australia would have been on top of it, and so these would have been forming in relationship to Australia that then would have moved away, like this margin would have been much closer. I don't know if it's possible that Ontong Java formed in relationship to this structure and then Australia moved off of it. And then it broke apart. And then Hawaii was released. Whoa. It almost makes me think, is it possible this was like super deep? Pre-expansion, where this location was approaching this location atop it. And it was like a core of the earth that then like got moved to the exterior as a new core was formed in the expansion process. I mean, to explain some of this stuff I've been thinking about really is mind-boggling. I'm like thinking all sorts of angles. Like maybe there's some layering that went down. I mean, it was a smaller radius Earth. Maybe it went down to some kind of core at some portion where the core moved out. It would be crazy if Hawaii was the previous core of the Earth. That was like inside of a region that had an eddy, ammonite eddy, top it, and then was capped by all this stuff. It doesn't really, I don't know. I don't want to completely shut it down in my mind or talk about it too much because it sounds ridiculous. I mean, it's possible. We're free to think. So here we got, though, this jet stream off of here next to Fiji. So my interpretation is that a sphere formed in a eddy under the crust, literally like a fractal atom where had a decay product of this sphere, where it released an emission that went over this way to this location specifically, where then it interacted with other currents that it was not interacting with over here, and ended up causing the Earth expansion process to really actually happen by being at this location that moved away and like swung out here. I don't know exactly how it swung out, but when it was over here, this current was going along the margin between Papua New Guinea, or New Guinea, and Mexico. So if we go here, we go back here real quick, there's this thing and this thing that I call the broken bonds. So if we go over here, this relates to the northern one, this relates to the southern one, and even like this whole structure is related to the Solomon Islands breaking away from North America when the bonds between the atoms of Australia and North America broke. It left behind some kind of evidence of it, and then broke again over here between Australia and South America, and then really broke so that the Earth really expanded in this kind of unbuttoning thing going on here. That even has like up here too. This is less of a broken bond type feature though. More related to the Philippines as a whole, where there's strange passing through current structures. But then, so what I was getting at, like, long ago. Pull rips on the West Coast? Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm a little too high for this. Like, pull rips? Oh, yeah, the shit I was just talking about. What in the hell, man? Dude, it's funny you showed up. This is all bringing your moon suggestion to mind. I'm like, whoa. Maybe the moon was like emitted in this process. I don't know. But, earlier ones, 110 to 100, and then younger ones, 100 to 80. So it goes boop. And Australia used to have a current going along it that was more along this way. When it was turned, that's what I'm thinking, is it relates to an earlier time, and then the plate started to move away, as the Earth started to expand, and re-established a connection between Australia and North America, more in relationship to the Emperor Trough direction. Like along here, it reconnected for a time. I don't know much about thoughts on magma in the earth and I guess just mantle. Is this still my playlist? Sometimes it just starts playing other things. I don't even know if this music is audible anyway. Wow. But this was the location where current was initially going, up this way. Specifically to the nose of the Mid-Pacific Mountains dragon. Oh my lord. Japan's got these friggin' things. Boop. It really looks like a bunch of gears that are slowly moving the sphere. Like the paddle hits it and shoots it away, but really it's being moved progressively, maybe along this, which was also over there. To a degree. I'm not sure if it's. I'm not sure that makes any sense. The Indonesian archipelago region, this region, shifted from up here and over here, whereas generally adjacent to India. In an Earth expansion model, per my interpretation, accounting for lots of details, it would have been here, and then Australia would have been adjacent to, with Borneo, Indonesia, around this area. So it basically would have just been up a notch to here. Boop. Where this one's up a notch, or 2 notches, kind of thing, and then over 1. Up 2, over 1. Where it shifted out and down, out and down more so, leaving behind the South China Craton in the process. So maybe that's part of what, like, the Craton occupied a space and kind of the stuff around it shoved outwardly and segmented Indonesia from South China Craton. That was over here when Indonesia was over here. And generally very closely related to each other. I believe the South China Craton is closely related to the South China Sea formation process, and even to Tarim Basin, possibly. It seems like they were literally layered. Liquefaction, oh yeah. Yeah, Japan sounds super sketchy. Super sketchy. Oh shoot. This don't look good for Japan either. It's like a blockage. Flows going down along this area. Coming through this way, that like open from Sandpoint. Earthquake opening currents over here. Going down this way, interacting with northward pressures and being forced over through this path, and then interacting with this magnetic anomaly, producing earthquakes all around this anomaly specifically that are the highest magnitudes, but ultimately interacting north and southbound pressures of undercurrents to a point where it's just still happening, but sometimes it's being pushed down this way and it's running into resistance, it seems, from northward pressures here by a cluster, one of which is 6.2, 5.1. There's a lot of quakes also. Oh, not anymore. Wow. There were many, like, in a line, in here too, and here. Like that one. Let's move back. It's almost like pressures over here actually pushed southbound pressures back. And even back from like this fracture zone like feature to this one. Like there's several of these visible over here. My interpretation is like even where we don't see them in the data, there's still one like right at the boundary of Kamchatka, another one over here just based on the data of earthquakes. Based on earthquake data, there seems to be. But this does not look very good for Japan, honestly. I mean, it might have pushed back, but it pushed into like something significant where a 6.2 happened. So the pressure down southward, it seems pretty significant. I'm just kind of talking about things that generally relate to what I was talking about earlier. Which is, I'm barely through this. So he said the Farrar-Dixon hypothesis was always a stretch. It includes not just the Emperor Trough, which is what I've been mostly focused on, but a bunch of other places, the Line Islands, for which there is little evidence of strike-slip faulting. It's also a bunch of other places is also something else that I've also, the Gardner lineament. Emperor Trough, Gardner lineament, Line Islands lineament. So I guess Emperor Trough, Gardner lineament, Line Islands is the proposed Emperor fracture zone. I'm super focused on Emperor Trough up here because it's like clearly there. And a thought occurs to me, I'm like, if they propose 1,700 kilometers of dextral slip, I guess they kind of have to propose where it happened elsewhere, so they can't just have it happen only here, I guess. So it needed to be sourced from something else too, so they had to extend it, I guess. But like if there's 1,700, there's 1,700 like right here. It doesn't really matter. In terms of motion of, I believe, the western side relative to the eastern side. I really like the Pacific went like, dude, I don't know if I did that right. There we go. I did it. I did it. I also found out these are the musician seamounts. This is Wentworth seamounts, I believe. Which, boop, boop, has a similar thing to the Hawaiian Islands. Or Hawaiian Emperor seamount chain. And I guess this one does too. Sort of bending, like there's a bend maybe. That one's not so clear, but they're quite parallel. Although this one's not parallel, interestingly. And then some of them show strong evidence of relationships to whatever's going on with these things. Which then relates to the Mendocino fracture zone. Or, that's this one. The Clarion fracture zone, maybe? Clipperton here? I'm not sure. It's so hard to remember. Murray fracture zone? Whatever this one is. Little evidence of strike slip faulting. Tell me that guy. Little evidence of this 1700 kilometers of dextral offset. Or in these places. Line Islands and Gardner lineament. Richard Gordon published a short paper saying that the paleomagnetic evidence do not support such a large offset, and then he attached it. And these data are probably not accurate enough to see approximately 300 kilometers of offset, but maybe I will review the paleomag data one day after I retire. I'm like, oh, cool. But, he points out something I wasn't really thinking about when I was thinking, could this reopen the Farrar-Dixon door? Is 300 kilometers may be like within the data. But he still is like saying no motion. So it's kind of like, well, something's up. And then he asked, does that answer your questions? And I'm like, oh, I got a response. Oh my god. He's awesome too. Like, whoa. So I said, Dr. Sager, many thanks for your reply. Yes, you did answer my question, although I'd be very interested in why you felt that 2025 paper's evidence was circumstantial, in what ways it was lacking. And then I was like, I thought about this for days. I'm like, what do I say? Do I bring up anything else in it? I know he's involved with mantle plumes. With Gillian Falger, who's the administrator of this website and has a proposed theory of how basically says hot spots don't exist. There's no evidence of hotspots. All evidence is like highly interpretive, like finessing of whatever you want to see, you see kind of thing in the data when it comes to hotspots, because where they're commonly described as like an X-ray, and she says they're not at all like that. We really can't see that well underground. Here's why, technically, and it all is like, alright, hotspots aren't so. But I know he's interacted with her because she talked about it, and so I'm like, okay, maybe he's open to Earth expansion, because this website actually even includes papers somewhere that I was just reading. I'm like, this is Earth expansion. Whoa, or like entertaining it. So like maybe he at least is like aware of it enough to not be like taken aback by it, to include it. So, and at risk of sounding unreasonable, I'm interested in the Emperor Trough and the Emperor Fracture Zone proposal, because I believe the region is most able to be used to discern if the Earth expanded effectively, where plate tectonics has this region flowing into the area of Kamchatka. Circumstantially, that's my interpretation. As we go into maybe a bit later, I believe this area is the ultimate test of expansion by determining if it is the elusive Baja BC fault, where Western North America was atop the Emperor Fracture Zone. At least the Emperor Trough and the Northern Emperor Trough once ended where the Tintina Fault begins in the south. So I've said something that's outrageous, probably to most geologists. Utterly outrageous. Like, nah, dude. Most geologists would just like be like, holy shit, what the fuck. But I say it anyway because I'm like, this is the why. Like, okay, he gave me Gordon, which I've seen, and I'm like, maybe if he's responsive, if I'm more like specific about why I'm asking, like, I think it might be the Baja BC fault in an Earth expansion model. Maybe it'll at least give context where he's more able to like respond and not be confused about what the hell's going on if he wants to respond. With Hess Rise and Kamchatka exotic terrains being once in the area of the Columbia embayment prior to the translation at the southern end of the Emperor Trough. So these are all things that are super, like, technical paper inspectionable. Like, like if someone wants to be like, this can't be, then they totally could. If it's in the papers, I don't know what his thoughts were on this exactly. He didn't specify, I guess. But he did respond. So with Hess Rise and Kamchatka exotic terrains being once in the area of the Columbia embayment prior to the translation. I gotta just pause that because that's the last track. Okay. Prior to the translation. So I'm basically saying before Kamchatka materials moved north in relation to Hess Rise, from Hess Rise along the Emperor Trough, basically, as a train track. Before that, it was in the Columbia embayment atop Hess Rise, generally speaking, over here. And it was moved northward, so where this region was moved into this region underneath the crust. And then it moved over and maybe up and like a notch until it actually moved outward to be over here relatively as the crust actually severed enough to move away from North America and become Asia, I guess. So it's like super ridiculous. But I've came across a lot of unexpected relationships between the areas by considering this general overlay. So I'm hesitant to see Gordon's arguments as wholly persuasive, which modern science has totally disregarded Farrar and Dixon in terms of it's basically considered wholly persuasive, Gordon's arguments. Okay. I do agree that the Farrar and Dixon Emperor Fracture Zone proposal seems untenable in view of the language and claims of Gordon's paper, making this all moot, which does seem to have settled the matter in literature where the Emperor Fracture Zone proposal does not really come up anymore, Dixon even agreeing in a future paper. I find the Farrar and Dixon paper of interest largely because of what it claims rather than why it claims it, having many anomalous similarities to Baja BC research details before Baja BC was a thing. Typically 1,400 to 2,000 kilometers of dextral offset proposed frequently in the same time frame, which also is debated but much more heavily than hard to access and less extensively developed ocean floor or paucity or posic ocean floor details having areas that paleomagnetically do not show the proposed slip translation north and others that do, so the whole area is all the more confusing and difficult to discern while sharing similarities to the Emperor Fracture Zone debate, which I put in quotes because it's not really a debate, it kind of ended. Certain samples argued to be suggestive of transport and others not. Gordon effectively calls Farrar and Dixon's findings secular variation, which I described it as variations, small variations, but I meant small variations in time, like annual variations in the magnetic field, which is curious in and of itself, and wholly dismisses them, as well as omitting, and just wholly dismisses them, as we saw, as well as omitting deep sea drill program sediment evidence, they say, yield paleolatitudes that are biased towards the paleoequator. It's a little weird, it's like all of them, and you're dismissing it as biased. It's just got weird. I don't know. Like, I don't know if they're reasonable about it, which I say could also be authentic. I don't know, and support the dextral slip in some fashion. Like, I'm thinking maybe it's even like sliding, like a landslide on the crust and not next to, like, the dextral slip is more at a higher point and like literally on the crust, almost like astroturfing. Did I say that? I'm not sure that's the word I'm looking for. Gliding on it like Hart Mountain did in Wyoming. I think it's in Wyoming. Hard Mountain. Where this is considered to have come from, like, over here somewhere. Somewhere over here, I'm not sure. not there, and to have landslid being over here, although where's the evidence and like the actual terrain, which is curious. It's like, so it can be hidden, huh? And then, so maybe it was more atop it, and so, like, between this stuff, the actual crust that was there, and what was riding atop it at the time, was sediment that kept the base from moving, but acted as a lubricant kind of thing, where it moved along it, and probably fluids that were transporting pressures, like moving it all. Fluid pressures moving it. But maybe atop the crust is what I'm thinking, where going deeper it had to actually cut into it here. Which only happened in more extreme energies that were more right there and not over here, even though there was generally currents along it, maybe. So the dextral slip evidence is maybe even more apparent in the sediment, is what I'm saying. What I'm getting at is that there could be circumstances that would make sense, and they're saying the paleo equator, which, I mean, that also would make sense. It's even more like the now equator. Like, basically starting at this location and going up this way when they were closer, though, before South America and North America spread apart, because that was part of how they spread apart. When that location was starting over here, though, and spreading apart from Australia, too, to be over here, having jet streams going this way and this way, but maybe at an earlier time, actually going more this way. It's based on the, or like around it, I guess. I don't know. Just based on those, that one paper we were just looking at. But then up this way, it's a lot of hard mountains. I noticed the topic seems relatively undiscussed, but felt the issue could be similar since it was rebutted by Gordon, but felt the issue could be similar to the nature of Baja BC, conflicting paleomagnetic data that require accounting for further details, particularly if the regions were vertically in the same location, North America atop the eastern region of Western Pacific crust. This is why. This is why I was curious. I don't want to sound like an ass at any point while reading this. Or any silly voices. This is why I was curious if the Emperor Fracture Zone proposal. This is probably still before I was realizing that I should brought in the Emperor Fracture Zone potentials from what the paper claims. This is why I was curious if the Emperor Fracture Zone proposal could have at least some unintended support from the new paper, as Gordon's paper claims with no amount of uncertainty that no slip occurred. The data are consistent with no motion having occurred. We read this, maybe not, along the Emperor Fracture Zone. In fact, the good agreement of the data strongly attests to the rigidity of the northern Pacific Plate for at least the last 100 million years. While the Madrigal et al. Work appears to conclude otherwise, that slip occurred, albeit less than claimed by Farrar and Dixon, and localized to the Emperor Trough, While not bringing up the Ferran-Dixon-Gordon discussion explicitly in the new findings implications one way or the other, which I'm curious about. I mean, obviously, it's kind of unlikely that they would bring that up unless they were super focused on it, but it's been kind of dismissed and is about the Emperor Fracture Zone and not the Emperor Trough, and maybe bringing it up might even not make sense then for that reason. I don't know. Whatever reason, while not bringing up the Ferran-Dixon-Gordon discussion explicitly, which is obviously a me desirable thing, and the new findings implications one way or the other, but appearing to me to provide at least some supportive evidence in favor of the Ferran-Dixon proposal, which is what drew me to reach out. Though I did not expect you to say you felt the evidence of the new paper to be circumstantial and not a slam dunk. In a sense, it would seem to refute Gordon's paper to at least indicate the topic requires further consideration. Although, as you point out, Gordon's data may be compatible with approximately 300 kilometers of offset, just not 1,700, and not along the whole proposed Emperor Fracture Zone. Which is why I'm realizing maybe there's other paths, maybe it doesn't need the whole thing, maybe all sorts of things. Looking at the paper, he has standard errors up to 10.9 degrees, which seems a bit large for him to have concluded no slip occurred. The data appears like it could have been used to conclude dextral slip was at least a possibility, if the author wanted to as well, and that it was the objective of the author. So let's look at this. 10 degrees of latitude in kilometers. 1,100. Errors of up to 1,100 kilometers. Not very good. I don't know. I mean, it's probably significantly closer to 300 that is likely, kind of thing, and up to 10.2 is way less likely, but could have been used to conclude dextral slip was at least a possibility, and that it was the objective of the author to dismiss the Ferran-Dixon conclusion outright. Like, that's what they were basically, they didn't want to just be like, well, we don't know. I mean, partly they probably didn't believe it, and that's why they were even looking at it, especially once they started to find evidence and not in favor of it, is my thought. And it's possible they just would rather have outright dismissed it and thereby been kind of ignoring their standard errors. Like, maybe they could have, it would have been more accurate, I guess, for them to say maybe not 1,700. Maybe some, maybe not 1,700. By dismissing it, and by ignoring these standard errors that seemingly make it impossible to know no slip occurred in any evidence that favored the proposal, effectively driven by disbelief as much as evidence. Just as I am. I mean, that's just how humans function. Like, I don't believe that there's nothing to Ferran-Dixon. I just don't believe it. Maybe not 1,700 kilometers. Maybe it's way more complicated, and not the Emperor Fracture Zone specifically. But I just don't believe it. This paper, it just doesn't change my mind. It doesn't seal a deal for me, because I see so many other reasons that I can't be like moved by it. I mean, I certainly am moved in this regard where I'm like, okay, so what the fuck's going on? How do I like deal with that this is a thing, this paper, and how it relates to what I'm trying to interpret? Then I go on to say, I also came across paleomagnetic data of Kamchatka by Levashova et al., which link as these. So talked about in the last one, where there's evidence, paleomagnetic evidence in Kamchatka that suggests that Kamchatka accreted terrains came from over here and moved this way, or down here and moved this way. And they put it on here, they mentioned the Kula plate. But if you just look at the picture, they're basically saying it came from this area. And I'm like, that's weird. So I'm like, maybe, like, I think, and he mentions a paper that I probably should pull up, and it's getting late, and I probably will have to continue in another episode to actually finish this. How long am I? I'm looking for the time. Where is it? 2:08. 30 minutes of to do. I love me some poker, although I get bored, honestly. Chasing like penny tables to build a stack, because I don't have money to play otherwise. Nor do I want to risk money that I didn't win. Dude. I mean, you could definitely go to Global Poker. Stake. I mean, stake is a bit of a pain in the ass because they're gonna want your social security if you use real money. But the thing is like these websites, I got $4. I didn't put that shit in there. I go like this, boop. I just collect it occasionally. I mean, if you don't collect it daily, it's kind of 25 cents. The 7th day on this website sometimes gives $5. I'm pretty sure it can give up to like $218 entry to tournaments. This website's awesome though, because it's kind of a pain in the ass to get gold coins on there without real money. I don't know if you want to play with real money at all. Dude, I've won thousands. I've legit. The thing is, it's not your. If you don't put money in, it's not. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter if it's rigged. If you ever cash out, you're profiting. And I've cashed out thousands doing this. Not just this website, but also just this website. I've cashed out thousands. And I'll put in maybe a couple hundred on here. And this is probably the most I put on any of them. Most of them I maybe buy like a super good deal. It's like $30 for 5 of coins for like $10 or something. I've never heard of Pokerist. I mean, there's a lot of freaking, what do they call it, donkeys or whatever. People just fucking playing trash and hitting. A lot of that on here, but like, let's take a pause. Go over here. I haven't played in a while. I like the Omaha. They turned it into a fucking all-in. It's hilarious. It used to be not all-in. People just shove anyway, though. Let's see if I can get some. Oh, it's $1. What in the fuck? $2? No, I have to buy in $1. Oh, Lord. Yes, they used to have $2 tables. I don't know what the fuck. It's like they got rid of them. Weak. Super lame. What the fuck? I don't think I can play this. Oh shit, I can play this. I'm just gonna fucking do this in the background, I guess. Middle of my video, I'm playing Pokemons. I like the cards, like the 4 cards of PLO. Shit, I might as well pull up Stake. So that I got literally this old beat up card of all these websites. I'll do like this, bada bing, there's $1. It's kind of a pain in the ass, honestly. I got bored of it. Royal Flush on Pokerist? Did you, get someone to play, or just fucking win, like, nothing? And was that No Limit or PLO? PLO, I think I've seen a Royal Flush. I can't remember if I've seen No Limit Royal Flush at one of my tables. Fucking flush, everyone just hanging out. And King High on a friggin' PLO. Maybe I should bet it. If they check, do I just go for it? They might call. I ain't got shit. He could almost certainly have a friggin' boat. Yeah. Ace 9. Fucking trash. Half folded up. So people got to see it. Like you got to turn it over. Sometimes I've had monster hands that I had to lay down because they not lay down, but they just mucked it. I'm like, that was such a monster. I feel like obliged to have shared it. I don't think I ever got a royal flush. I'm not sure what I'd even think like that. Maybe a straight flush. High straight flush. It's too boring to just kind of look at it endlessly. Okay, we got another hand. No one's betting. This dude's got $72, $71. I can't see the maximum because I don't have enough. It's probably $10 max. I don't know. I don't even see it. Oh, I had a set to lose to a flush on. Okay, playable. Playable. Was it PLO? Oh fuck. I would prefer to not freaking get re-raised. I'm a bitch. Why was I such a bitch? 45 cents. Okay, clubs. Oh man, I didn't want to just be all in practically. I know it wasn't. Okay, at least someone drew out a flush on me and might have called. I doubt they would have called any bet on the flop. I could have taken $1.80 at least. They might have called if they had like, oh, no flush even. Oh, damn. Damn, so I could have got that bet too? I would have probably bet though. Womp womp. Damn, I could have stacked up a bit. I like to just roll slots, honestly. This one, I come over here and I'm like, what do you got? Let's go Dragon Spire. I like dragons. I mean, if it sucks, I'll stop though. Most of them have both. Besides the old ones that got banned or whatever. If they have poker, that is. A lot of them don't have poker, but... no idea what's happening. I'll just click it till I run out until I hit big. It don't matter. I don't give a shit. I mean, I'd prefer to hit. Ain't my money though. It will be if I hit. Show. Then I go to like this one. This one I like because I just go like that. Bang, done. It's super dollar and quick and no fucking login every day kind of bullshit. This one pretty good. I do have a lot of them attached to my Facebook, which I don't know if I like or not. I gave way too much information to some of these fucking things. You crushed it. Okay. Go away. Learn more, I guess. Accept. You accept that you're giving your soul to us in the afterlife. What? Oh, shit. Oh, I would've won that one. That was scary, though, if I was in it. Okay, lobby. I really like playing Snoop Dogg dollars. That's one of my favorites. Because when it hits, it's bada bing. Bada bang hits. It usually don't hit for shit, but when it do, I'm like, cash out. Because they got minimum cash outs. I'm just talking poker now and fucking gambling. Straight up. Fascist book, yeah, maybe. That's probably Twitter. Fuck's sake, that shit. And it's gone. Back to dragons. Well, I'm certainly not getting any further on my research discussion. I have to continue from there. I don't know what the fuck that's... Okay, double suited kings. I'll just limp and hope someone raises, honestly. Oh, no one wanted to freaking raise. decent, but definitely someone could have hit a set. Now someone could have 6-8. Fuck. 6-8 is crushing me. Jack, king. Oh, I should have bet on the flop. Or on the pre-flop even. Pre-flop, then flop. Fuck. It's almost certain someone got straight or even just two pair. Porn bangster. Oh shit. What a weird thing. I'll just post my research there and talk about revolution. Talking about a rebel. Oh, and disc golf. Holy crap, I should go to bed. I was super friggin' tired today. It was like, am I dying? What the fuck is wrong with me? Legitimately, what the fuck is wrong with me kind of feeling. I do not know. Dude, the first part of that sentence, I'm like, milk your hand. Like, milk his hand. Oh man, I'm still high, I guess. Yeah, definitely better raise early. Yeah, I've seen pros do it all the time. They re-raise pre-flop or not even playing kind of plays. I don't know what I'm thinking. I guess I could have got 5 and had 5 of not clubs and been winning. Hooray. Shoot, maybe I'll stop streaming now and restart only on Twitch. So I'm not just playing poker. Trailblazing, baby. Oh no. Fun straight flush draw. Jack high flush draw, not the best, but oh, friggin' straight flush would have been ridiculous, damn. It's just, I think people are not as good at it. I think if I play it enough, I get better, and people generally are just not as good at it because they don't play it as much. That most people play no limit, and then they, like me, are like, what is this other one, and start playing it. And some people are like good enough that they're like established how to play relatively, but like they still make more mistakes than they make at no limit. I certainly do it a lot where I'm like, oh, I didn't even see that fucking draw was open, and like they got some monster draws. They don't even have like a good hand, but they just have so many draws that their hand is good. I actually used to like high-low, but I'd make too many mistakes. I had to stop. It's super confusing, especially if I tried to play it like simultaneous to anything else. Threw a lot of pair hands. I got straight draw. Got some other flush draws. Not much of a straight draw yet. Oh yeah. Three of a kind's kind of sketchy because there's almost always a flush or straight draw on the board. Or actual potential of one. The limp. Can I limp? I'm fucking limping. Interesting. I haven't bet this whole time, that's the problem. Someone could definitely have queens. I don't know if anyone would have limped with the aces. I don't really want to let them just draw. Maybe I should just shove. Four quads. Do I bet pot? Fuck it. Damn. Well, at least I'm up. 30. I'm only up 36 cents after all that. I just got quads. Damn, I should have bet on the turn. He was probably flush drawing, honestly. Good position. This one might not have been a bad spot to raise, but I'm down to limp. The straight, the almost straight. Two could have been a 5, but then the 6-7's crushing me. I don't think I even bother. Could have got a jack and something else to help me, I guess. A heart on the turn would have been half decent. It's just a bunch of mediocrity, and if I hit, that's like definitely beat by higher hands. Like, they're like baits to play the hand. I don't think I've hit anything yet on this. Okay, so that... What in the fuck? What the fuck is happening? I'm down with it. Well, penny. Penny for your thoughts. And it's gone. I don't know why there's paper clips involved with this game called Dragonspire. Oh shit, what is happening? Oh, it didn't hit, whatever that was. Okay, suited kings, or sixes. Decent big blind, hopefully it doesn't raise. I mean, I got pockets. You got pockets? Cool. I don't know why I'd call if he didn't have pockets. Just bad 10 cents, I guess. He's got 60 freaking dollars. Do I call this shit? I got bad position. I'm basically chasing diamonds, mostly. 2 pair might have been good. Boat, fuck. Didn't see that one coming. Oh man, just teasing me now. King. Oh, they don't have shit. They want to really play with any big bets. But I would have probably got $2.50 maybe. Shit. They already had bet big. Fuck. That's right. They might have fucking bet. Shoot. Might have been down for some raises. They probably wouldn't call it raise, so I would have probably just got that. Maybe bet this dude off too, or that dude off. Bet them both off. Is what it is. Fuck out. Shitty straight. Again, a shitty straight. Okay, back to this. I still don't know what I need to actually do to make this thing do its thing. Huh? Not that I'm doing it. It seems like 4 at least need to be connected, maybe. Freaking A. Oh Lord. Sorry guys, anyone who's watching this still on my recorded underground science videos. Future's like, what in the hell? Well, guess bro needed cash. Okay, that was 4, so maybe, okay, 4. Okay. Okay, I figured it out. 4 connected symbols. And... that's not a while to make that 4? Damn. Double suited 7s. Ooh. Can I limp? Good, that $60 dude's gone. He was, when I started being in that hand with him, I was like, ooh. Guess I could go up here. This guy, is this the same guy? This chair, which it might have been this guy, always bets position and pot, I feel. If it's checked to him, he just fucking goes pot to pot it. Regardless of having it or not, I think he's just... There's definitely the risk of running into people who are like really good at PLO, and I'm just not as good as them either. Where they're like confident in betting constantly. Like circumstantially, they're way more driven by circumstance than cards. That I tend to just not try to play that way. Oh, that's big. That's only 5 cents, huh? Okay. I love how I sit here being real careful at poker for fucking pennies. And then I spin over here. Bam. Gone. Bam. Gone. Boom. Gone. Boom. Gone. And then I just fucking expedite its goneness. Bam. Gone. Bam. Gone. Bam. Gone. Legit fucking lame. Okay, next. That's a good one. Zula? This one's pretty good. Or has been. And some of them have been changing. I think they realize there's people like me that are just logging in and happily taking their money that they're giving me in exchange for my information. That's probably worth more. Ooh. And they're just reducing how much they give, but that's still $1. I was playing this one and not hitting fucking shit, so I should probably keep playing. Makes total sense. I gotta raise even in bad position. I'm down to go all in. Okay, cool. Especially if the turn was good and he didn't raise me. I'll play this. Let's see this flop. No raises. No raise. No raise. No raise. No raise. No raise. Oh yeah, this shit was 30 cents a spin. What was I thinking? It's just too fast and gone. But now I'm like in the mood. Oh fuck. I do have position, but I'm definitely kind of hopeful there. Okay, five clubs. Yeah, that's kind of shitty draws. I'd be definitely glad to see that club. Oh, fuck. Figures. Would have been fucking cheese, donkey drawing their ass out. Screw 'em on the river, totally. What did he have? Hey, it hit something. My god, it just hit enough to do another spin to miss after this one. Oh shit, that one hit too. Oh, this motherfucker. Bro, I got position on you. My cards suck. I don't know if I want to play this. It's probably, I'm just kinda... If he calls, I'm down. Fuck it. Almost. Okay. Trash. What in the fuck, dude? Okay, that's gone. This one might have some sports. Xeno is cool because it also has sports betting. Super sweet. Half decent. Bad position for the race. He's got position on me. Heads up. Do I want to play that heads up? Not really. I mean, I could have called maybe, but... I guess I should have called. Coins collect. No thanks. Better. Considered re-raising, but my hand's just not that good. Okay, I'll probably fucking call if he calls, especially. Fuck it. Oh my god. Terrible flop. I'm pretty much drawing hearts. Oh, he didn't have it either, that son of a bitch. Okay, okay, get it back here. Get it back here. This is the one. I'm probably about to lose it all. That's okay. I don't. This is how I do it, though. Till it works out. I'll just limp. I don't even have enough to be fucking going ham. Maybe I should have bet there. Yeah. Maybe I should have raised there. I'm all in. Fuck that. Okay, sure. Let's see if I win this. Oh shit, someone better not have that 9. Hopefully they're both. Oh shitty, they got 9s. Oh, club drawing. Oh shit, or a diamond. Okay. Take it down. Next. Well, that's on my poker stack. I don't even care though. That one I mostly just play there weekly if I remember to. It gives a chance at a $218 poker tournament ticket buy-in ticket. So I forgot to tell you about that. Oops. Tournaments. Gold coin. Oh, it's not active. Fuck. There. No, not gold coin. This one. It's probably not active though. Scrim. Oh. Weird. Sometimes they have a Sunday scrimmage. Oh. What the fuck? What the fuck? But this thing is a $218 buy-in, and it costs 11 cents that I get from just clicking over here. And then I gotta spin a bunch of gold coin slots on this one, which I'll just go like this. Usually this one, although they change it sometimes. And just spin the freaking gold coins like burst mode. Oh, this is in dollars. And then like this, and spin 1,000 times, and it just spins super fast, and I ignore it entirely because it's gold coins, which has no value. And then I enter the tournament, that gives away 50 tickets a week. For this scrimmage, that's $218, and I once won like 6 grand or 4 grand or some amount of grand. No, 6 grand was a Poker Stars tournament once way back when, or 10 grand, something. But this one was probably like 3 grand. I wonder if I can find it. Hey, I got 24 cents back. I guess I could just spin this away on slots here too. Check out, oh, they got roulette, quantum roulette. Oh shit! Oh, this one's got 1 million in the jackpot. Totally gonna hit it. No question about it. We got 4 minimum. Oh, it hit something. So now we still got 4 minimum. Uh, 2 to go. It's not. Probably not half. Sometimes it hits you. No. Okay, that one's done. That one's done. Well, this looks lame. 30 cents. 10-cent minimum. Oh my god, even better yet. Sports. I can bet on shit right now. Look at that basketball. Who's playing? Let's see. I can even bet on the freaking draft. What the fuck? But then I can bet on the most ridiculous shit on this. It's so funny. Where is it? Where is it? Esports? I can bet on Dota. And it even has a fucking game. Like, how crazy is this? That is not Dota though. Virtual. This is hilarious. Virtual cricket. I kind of like the gray horse one. Or greyhound. Gray horse. Like, why is that not the word? Greyhound. Okay, so they first place or two place. Go with Joker in the back to place. Dollar predict. Yeah, number 1 coming in hot. I'm going. He's a safe bet. And then thinking Ava to win. Not safe bet, but hey. And that's all I can do. Cool. So let's see how this. Maybe this has. I never put the volume on. Oh my god, is it gonna start? Oh, it's 38 minutes. Fuck, I feel like this was like fucking boom, boom, boom when I was. Maybe the horses is more like that. Oh shit, I bet on one that was like in the future. Is what it is. No, I don't fucking know. Anyway, I can, I'll find out later, I guess. I can early withdraw and lose like half of it, fuck that. Then there's Clubs Poker. Clubs Poker is pretty good too. It's super soft. It's clubs and stake players are the worst I've ever seen. Worst I've ever encountered by far. It's like, what is happening? Totally changed subject, fuck. Okay, I gotta stop this stream and go to bed. I'm just talking freaking poker and gambling now. Wait, what should we spend this 67 cents on before I go? A game as a casino? With a community. I like The Godfather. Like, I remember I used to play, like, chess on Yahoo back in the day. They probably had all sorts of games, though. They might have had, like, a social casino thing. I don't know. I'm gonna make him an offer I can't refuse. Okay, 3 spins here. No sound, because that's annoying. Oh, I hit 2 cents, baby! Queen? No queen. I need 4 of the bonuses. Okay, that's probably it. No dice. On that one. Chumba's also super good. It's just I don't feel like logging in every day. And they're what the fuck is this? I don't even want to click it. I don't know. That's cool. It's kind of fun, I guess. I'm just like more able to kind of share some casual me in the midst of some intense me, I guess. Let's see what this one's at. I play this one all. Okay, it's tied to that other one on. I play this all the time. Every single dollar I get from this website just goes to this one. Do. It's probably been. Yay for science. Yay. It's probably been several weeks since I really even gathered any of this money off of these websites. Oh, that's half decent. Half decent. Sound is loud. This one has an issue where I gotta do this. Can I have some sound? It's just fucking loud. Bing, 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 bing. I mean, I hit something, but it's... I gotta hit something big. Like $10 at least to get some kind of spins rolling. This one, when I have some cash, I just fucking do like this. Just fucking done. And then when it like hits a special spin, it doesn't allow me to do it. So I'm like, special spin. Oh well, no special spin. I think I kind of ran out of all of them now. This is the last one, the one that I gathered $1 on. And then I guess I'm gonna go. I need to utterly focus on my health and rest. Oh my god. I can't sleep past like 8 a.m. no matter how late I go to bed lately, it seems. I don't know what the hell is wrong with me. No, it's not like I have an alarm going off. Maybe I should, but... and it's gone, in fact. Stuff to try. Yeah. Yeah, definitely hard to track anything, really. Some of them do have some data, but it seems not easily accessible a lot of times. I guess I can do this. This is too specific. I better not go clicking around too much. Oh, I got 9 cents. I got another spin, baby. Wait, retrieve? Oh, load. Oh, Dude. I thought it was one of those like free monies. Like this one I think has beyond this, it has some other thing I could have sworn. I might have to actually receive it. Let's see if this one's it. It's just fucking gone. Oh my god, this shit was... It's super sketchy. Where did it go? It's like it never was. Oops. Bot infested, blah blah blah. It's literally gone though. This one was cryptocurrency based anyway, so is Stake. Cryptocurrency based is super sketchy. Lord. I never put money on that one. Like, I feel like there's another one. But I guess that was it. This one was cool though, because if you had no money, you could gather like a fraction of like a penny. And then you could just put it all in until it started to hit over and over enough to actually build a stack. I never cashed out from there, but I built a stack a couple times and just kept spinning just for balls. And managed to get some, like, play out of, like, fractions of a cent. It was kind of ridiculous, though. It's super tedious. Alright, I gotta go. Thanks for hanging, it was cool. I guess I never finished this freaking thing, and I'll just continue from wherever I left off before, the bad influence. Cool. Yeah, no problem. Definitely recommend Global. They also, of note, Global will do $1. Sometimes they'll do boosted, where it goes 1, 1, 1, like 2, 3, 4, 5 or something dollars. The SC being the actual redeemable cash. Most of these websites also are super sketchy in terms of cash redeeming. This one's pretty decent. Oh yeah, there's Crown. This one's actually pretty good in retrieving the cash, because I opened a Skrill account, which is like way safer, I feel. And they just kind of send it to Skrill. I don't know if I have I got 750. Oh, I'm sticking around. I got 750. Oh, damn. Okay, I need to do 10 of this spin for 10 cents. It's kind of fucking useless. These used to be good to a point where it was actually worth doing them. At this point, it's fucking useless. Pretty sure the second one's like spend $50 or something. 10 times 20 cents. I gotta do $2 of this fucking one now. The next one is probably ridiculous. Oh, what to do? Damn, this has a mill. Christmas still in session. Oh yeah, this fucking thing. This one has pissed me off actually. I was oh fuck. I was gathering on it. I was gathering the presents up to like 450, and then I reloaded it at some point and it was just gone. I'm like, usually this shit just like retains the data. Super weird. Not cool, dudes. It was 40 cents, so whatever. But it took a while to freaking gather enough for 40 cents. Maybe this one's good. Probably pretty lame. Where's a good one? Oh, yeah. Oh, that's why they're the same amount, because they're... Oh, maybe that's what it was. Maybe I spun this one. No. What the fuck is going on here? I don't like the boring games that only have like a few things that happen. Way cooler when it's like this. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna hit 20 cents speed. Let's speed it up. Huh. Turn that shit off. Oh wow, that's super fast. Okay, what's the need? 8, 2, 4, 6, 7, yep. It's almost too fast even for me. I don't like it that fast. And it's gone. I mean, that's how this $7 got here, though, is from spinning. So it certainly can hit. And I'm pretty sure I can look at my redemptions on this one. This one actually, yeah. Here we go. 80, 50, 50, 50, 150, 50, 50. Mostly last year, though. Only $100 in 2025. But even so, like, I didn't put any fucking money on this. They've literally given me 100, 250, 330, 430. Just fucking doing this. Gather the cash and spin and occasionally hit. Oh. This one looks like one of the ones I do frequently that's pretty bad in terms of it doesn't hit a lot. Oh, a multiplier. On no hits. Oh yeah, I probably can do a multiplier while it's hitting, which is when it's real good. Oh, maybe I'll get this hourglass. Nope. No dice. Dagnabbit, I'm already down 5. Okay. Oh. 48 cents. Weak. Also weak. Okay, it's probably gone. I definitely have hit at this point. And a moment of it's definitely gone. It definitely has hit before Darnos. Needs 4 scatters. And it is gone. No. Oh. Oh. Okay, 3 more. Oh man, I was about to do the peace sign. Okay, I'm assuming it's peace time. Oh my, I got another freaking. Okay, this. Do the bow, do the bow. Shoot your bow at the freaking board. Shoot the board. Shoot it. Oh. Oh, now you shoot the board. Oh, that looks like it hit. Okay. Wow, it's starting to kind of hit. Keeping afloat a bit while I'm trying to leave. I guess I could just leave. But I must be at no money or all money. Your wish is our command. Oh, it shot it. Okay. Maybe? Oh, that really looked like something hit. These kind of look similar, so that they all look like they might be adding to 8s, but they're just not. Okay, that's gotta be it. Alright, peace.